Glyn from Sherwood Watches is set to launch a new watch. Well, sort of new watch. It's a GMT version of the Commander, Glyn's first watch, which was a 200-metre Sherwood Forest themed watch. Well, the brand is called Sherwood. Glyn is from, well, literally that neck of the woods. As am I, funnily enough. That is where I was born. A beautiful part of the world, and Sherwood Forest is home to one of the most famous trees in the world, the Major Oak. It's the biggest oak tree in the UK and is estimated to be 800 to 1,000 years old. No wonder it's being propped up by stilts. When I was young, you could go to that tree and climb on it and just play all around that tree. Now it's protected, heavily guarded by a wooden fence. But still, that is by all accounts the tree that Robin Hood would hide in. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Let's get back to Glyn's new GMT, a Miyota 9075 powered GMT. Yay, I hear you all scream. We have seen a lot of GMTs recently, haven't we? And I think, well, most of them have been NH34 powered GMTs. And I think that's part of the problem. We need some variety. And people have been crying out for more GMTs powered by this particular movement, a cracking movement. One of the reasons we like this movement so much is that the action is, well, it's considered a true GMT. Last time I used that phrase, there were people heavily criticising me in the comments section saying, what on earth are you talking about, true GMT? What a load of rubbish. No, Google it. True GMT. You've got office GMTs and traveller GMTs, and they are considered true GMT watches. They work slightly differently, and the more premium GMT watches have true GMT movements in them. So this watch feels much more like a premium GMT than your typical NH34 powered GMTs. Now, in terms of the design, I don't think a great deal has changed between this watch and the original Commander, the dive watch that Glyn launched. Water resistance is the same, the overall look is the same, the case back is going to change. There's going to be a display case back on this watch, but you still get 200 meters of water resistance, screw down crown, screw down case back, on the fly adjustment system on the clasp, a beautiful mix of brushing and polishing, which gives this watch a slightly dressier feel. Sapphire crystal on the front. The bezel action is a diver's bezel action. I guess this is, well, you could argue a true diver GMT. You've got the 2 to 24 numerals in that inner ring on the dial, so the bezel is freed up to be used as a diver's bezel. And the bezel action is okay. These are prototypes. I don't generally review prototypes because they're not always made to quite the same standard as full production watches. I've said this many times. And quite often they come with caveats, which these have. Of course, the casebacks are going to be display casebacks. The leather strap isn't good enough. So it's worth bearing in mind when you're looking at the macro shots that these are prototypes and they are going to be returned to Glyn. But of course I'm going to have a fiddle with the bezel and it's quite clunky. Now, despite it being a true GMT, it's probably considered more of a desk diver. It hasn't passed any divers ISO certification ratings. I'm confident you can swim with these watches, but I don't think they can be considered professional dive watches. But still, nice to have a diver's bezel action, ceramic bezel insert, huge lume-filled markers on the dial. The lume is very good. I've tested it already, and yeah, as it was with the first watch, the lume lasts very well. They are lume-filled applied indexes, so I'm not surprised. Now, Glyn has sent me a couple of colours to show you, red and green, one on the stainless steel bracelet, one on a tan leather strap. Glyn isn't happy with this leather strap. He wants a better leather strap to sell it on, so I guess ignore this leather strap. But it will be made available on either the bracelet or a leather strap. And of course, my advice would be to pay the extra and get the bracelet, because you can always buy a leather strap to put it on in the future. And the bracelet has the on-the-fly adjustment system. And to be honest, I just think it suits the watch better. Watches like this, I think they look better on an all stainless steel bracelet. Now, Glyn has priced these. Well, the day-to-day prices are £575 for the watch on a bracelet, £545 for the watch on a leather strap, but there is an early bird price, a launch price if you like, £425 for the watch on the bracelet and £395 for the watch on a leather strap. Again, £30 extra for the bracelet. It is well worth it. Now, if you're interested in this watch, they will be available to pre-order from the 15th of September up until the 27th of October for the early bird price. After that, they will revert back to the full price. My advice would be to head over to the website. There is a link in the video description. It's not an affiliate link, it just takes you over to the website. Sign up to the newsletter and I'm sure you'll be kept informed and reminded. And I'm now going to package these back up and return them to Glyn so that, well, I guess he's going to ship them off to someone else to review. So yeah, there will be a few reviews popping up on YouTube. And of course, I'm always grateful that you've chosen to watch my review. And if you haven't done so already, click that like button and subscribe. Right, guys, as always, thanks for watching.